I say howdy.
I say, yo.
Welcome to the Big Book Bros, man. It's episode 10.
Yes,
Whoo,
sir.
10 weeks in a row. 10
For
weeks
real.
in a row. It'd be crazy. Well, first I want to say hope everybody's doing okay. They're safe and sound. I know a lot of people are starting to lose their minds with this COVID that's going on, but hopefully we're going to keep you guys entertained with some of the stuff we can get y'all reading. So for this 10th episode, if y'all been following me on Instagram and Twitter, and y'all seen a couple of my past episodes, I love this character from DC. However, y'all seen my these other episodes and posts. I got a little beef with DC because with this character, man, they had a good start with it. They had a good start and a good ending, but they canceled his series. And then another DC character that Bossman likes, they canceled him. He didn't even get the full completion of his series, of his run. So we were salty. We were salty, but for today, I'm gonna be talking about Damage from the New Age of Heroes. So he came out in 2017, and then what you got for today,
I
Danny?
got Northlanders.
Northlanders. I
Yeah, which is a comic book by Brian Wood. He also did DMZ, The Massive, which I've read both of those. Not a big fan.
uh
Um, but not not a big fan of the Northlanders either. A
not
lot
a
of
big
people,
fan.
a lot of people were talking highly about it. I guess too, if I would have knew more about it before I jumped in it, but it was in the collected edition, the complete collected editions. There's 3 of these. I read them all in a week. I was telling Michael about it. There's a second one. Here's the third one, and the art. So the art's decent. Nothing great. It's obviously art written by. Drawn by several different artists. Because
Mm,
what I didn't like about it before getting in, I wish I would have knew. Um, is it's not a continuing story. It's multiple different stories spanning different times of during the period of Vikings. It
okay.
reminded me a lot of the TV show Vikings, and I'm definitely selling it because I'll never be interested in reading it again.
Yeah.
Um, I'd rather recommend watching the show Vikings because to me that's a whole lot better. There was a couple stories in here that were pretty good. There's one in particular that I really liked. A lot of them they just ended out the blue. Like you didn't know you wanted to know more about the characters and it was
And
a
they
wrap.
just cut it. And they just kind
Yeah,
of cut it off.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like the end. So from my understanding, this is over with. So that's why I went ahead and dipped in it because I was like, man, there was several people. I watched a guy. He was like, oh, he wants it to be in an omnibus so bad, and I'm like, I just didn't get that. It's my personal opinion, but like I said, I just didn't get that. Like I'd rather watch the Vikings the show than this. But if your thing is Vikings and you really like Vikings, you'll love it. Because the whole thing is about Vikings. Like I said, there was some good stories in here, but to be honest, like I said, I'm not interested in reading it ever again. Definitely not for kids because it has gore out of this world, heads getting chopped off, cursing, um,
Oh, what up,
nudity.
Tupac? What's up, Tupac? My bad. No, I had a quick shout out.
No, you're good.
Tupac
You're
from
good.
Chicago. What
One
up?
of my favorite stories is about a slave that ran away from home and got he was from nobility and he ran away from home and got enslaved and he came back home and his uncle was ruling and his uncle was after his throat and he pretty much evaded his uncle and he didn't want uh, to take over the town that his father used to rule. He was
Yeah.
more interested in just living his life and not worrying about taking care of a town and stuff like that. Like I said, it's really weird because now that I'm looking at it, like Sven, the story of Sven, it doesn't start until like because there's different stories in here, but Sven for some reason starts at part 3, and I don't know why it does that, but that's how it starts. And he pretty much got sold into slavery, and over time he ended up being able to fight like with mercenaries, and he ended up going back home, and like I said, met his uncle, and his uncle just wanted to kill him. But here's some of the art.
Man, that kind of sounds like shoot, that sounds a lot like the plot for the Vinland Saga. That's that Viking anime that's out on Prime Video, Amazon Prime.
Yup.
Vinland Saga. So that's
I'm sure he got inspiration from them, because this right here has only been out, I want to say maybe 3 years, whereas Vinland Saga has been out for how long?
dude, it's been out since like the 90s. It's been out like that, yes.
But like I said, that's just one story, and that was my favorite one, and it was only like 4 issues, so I smashed it. But there was a bunch of other stories, but that was definitely my favorite. Like I said, the art is all over the place because there's so many different artists, but they did pretty good with at least keeping the same artists through the each of the individual stories. So that to me was a big letdown, because I was coming into it thinking it was going to be a continual story or a story about a family, generations or something like that, but it wasn't. So, I guess that's one big reason why I kind of was like,
yeah,
but it kept my attention to a point. I had to kind of push my way through the 3rd volume.
Yeah.
The 1st volume, I killed it. The 2nd volume, I kind of slowed down. The 3rd volume, I really got dragged. Because I was like, hold up, I gotta see if maybe it brings back up Sven's great grandkids or something.
Yeah, but they just kept going everywhere. Yeah, that's not gonna be good for story if you're gonna keep switching around, but you don't have no connections, or they just ended off like that. Yeah, that's something that.
Yeah. Some people like that type of stuff, though.
True.
There's other comic books that was like that. Like I said, with his story with DMZ, it was a straight run through, and I sold that comic a long time ago. Pretty much that one was like had to do with like New York City, and New York City ended up like breaking off from the rest. Or the United States ended up breaking off New York City because the crime was so ridiculous, and like I think there was radiation there, and they were like, "Well, we're cutting them off," and like those people had to live there and like self-govern themselves. And he was like, "I want to go in there, and I'm a news reporter. I'm going to report what's going on in there." So he goes in there. He ends up meeting all the different groups of people running around, running stuff, and eventually he wants to come back home, but he can't because he's so tied up with all the politics and everything going on. And it was a great idea. I just didn't really like it. Like, he didn't really make me fall in love with the main character. The main character to me honestly got on my nerves, and it pretty much stayed that way the whole time. Even his father hated him, and at the end, his father never wanted him to go. And at the end, he was like, "See, I told you." He was asking his father to help him get out because he couldn't get out. So it was just, I really didn't like it. And then the Massive, I don't even want to talk about that. So, like I said, that's my little take on the Northlanders. It's small. It didn't make an impact on me. I would not recommend it unless you like Vikings. But with that being said, Michael, I'm done. Talk about Damage because I want to.
Dang. Well, this is probably your quickest one. That's how I know you ain't feel like showing off no pictures, no nothing. All right.
Well, the part that had the best art was the story of Sven. Everything else was downhill from there.
Dang. All right. Well, so all the people that watch the videos, and we got a lot of people on here on these episodes. They be trying to buy these comics and look at the comments. So these comics and books that we have. So this one, you just heard from him, the Northlander. He was like, don't get it. All right. Well, let me try to ease these people back in because I collected the full series, and then I got real salty. What's up? Give me just one moment.
No, you're good. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Damage, it only has, I want to say it has 18 issues and one annual. If I'm not
16.
mistaken.
It got 16 issues. So
it has an annual. Did you get the annual?
Only one annual. Yeah. So I'm gonna get people on this. So yeah, go ahead. The character that I want to talk about, that's like y'all heard me plenty of times. I love him. And that's what I said. A lot of people want me catch up on some DC. DC, talk about DC comics. This character right here is called Damage. He's from DC, and he came from a wave called the New Age of Heroes. So one thing I want to let people know: the New Age of Heroes was a new event that they had back up in 2017, and it comes from a DC event of the Dark Knight Metals. So a lot of people may have heard of it, or they don't know what that is. It was like a huge event. With comic books, there's always going to be events, titles, series, and then usually during that process of an event, or even after it, they'll show new characters, or they'll show like side characters. They'll show you, if there's like a war going on, what's behind the scenes with these new characters, this, and that. So his name is Dammit. Well, his name, the being right here is Damage. However, when I say he is a person, he's the DC version of the Hulk. That's the best way I can tell you. DC version of the Hulk. Just because his real name is Elvis Ethan Avery, and he is a soldier. And then you'll kind of figure out as the story progresses what happened to him. It's your basic. He became a super soldier, experiment. He kind of went rogue, cut and paste. However, the story will really start progress in the DC universe and how it starts to expand. So first, I want to let you know it was created by Tony Daniel and then Robert Venditti. And then most of the art was by Tony Daniel and a couple other people. Where's the other one? I know there was a Danny Mickey and a couple of others. After the first 6 issues, it was nothing but Tony Daniels. And then usually different issues will have different artists, but the main people are going to be Tony Daniels, and then even Robert Venditti. He also made the art too. So this is mostly by 2 people. So art for me. I love my covers. I always love cover art, but that doesn't always sell. You can hear us plenty of times. You want something that grabs your attention. So when I saw this dude, a patriotic, he got the American flag, he crashing down, looking like some crazy soldier. I said, okay, that's cool. But then I was like, what's next? Oh man, I gotta show you this nice spread. They had this man busting out, acting crazy. Just from the first couple of pages, and then even when it's not just of him him fighting and going crazy, they just did good. They did wonderful. So the key thing about the alter ego Damage, he has a time limit. So whenever Ethan feels like he needs to transform, he rages out. He only has 1 hour to be damaged, and he was the biggest, best, new, strongest superhero ever. Like they was building him up like crazy. So there's a couple of issues that I'll start showing in covers where he had to fight like the Justice League and different people, and I'll show you that in a minute. But he only has 1 hour to be damaged. So I like how when he's doing these fight scenes, it shows you the progress. He's going to different cities, he's going to different places, and it's showing you that timer. After that timer runs out, he'll go back to regular Ethan, and then he can't be damaged for another 12 hours. Like that's it. That's like the ultimate. That's a big handicap.
Yo, Mike. How does he become damaged? Like, does he do something, or does he think, or just
he just thinks? Same thing like the Hulk. He thinks. He just he just lets Damage really talk to him. So I'll show you a picture real quick of
so Damage is like his alter ego, or is Damage like just a different person? Like the
alter ego. The alter ego. So let me show you a good one. Because it'll show him rampaging in the city. But so like art again, phenomenal. They really, when he started doing pages just of him, oh yeah, they made it. Yeah, that was good series. But let me see. Like here we go. That's what I said. It's the DC version of the Hulk, where if you see Damage kind of thinking it's kind of bad with the color. But on his right side, there'll be like a blue bubble, and that blue bubble is the conscience of Ethan. It's like, hey, Damage, don't do this. Hey, Damage, don't go crazy. But let me show you a picture where it's just his body. His regular soldier body. He's a regular soldier looking dude. So he always, he got the buzz cut. So like when you see Damage, he also got the buzz cut. But like Ethan, that's him as the regular soldier. He got crazy. He let loose, and he's regular. Let me see if I can find a good one of him just talking. But yeah, so for Ethan, the trigger, that the persona of damage, like it's just a switch. So that's why it makes it more dangerous. That's why it makes it more dangerous. Because with the Hulk, it's always think anger. Channel that anger, or if he's Bruce Banner's hurt, Hulk can take over because that pain can work for him. Damage is a little bit more okay. Ethan, he's talking to me. He's talking to me like, hey, Ethan, they keep coming after you. You're a soldier. You keep getting hunted. Let me take over. Let me go this and that. So he won't fully get over until, he gives that verbal agreement. Okay, all right, damage, let's go. And then boom, switch it up. So the art was amazing. Story, it took over. Like I said, it came during the event of the DC Dark Knight, the DC Dark Knight's Metal. One thing I would recommend if people are interested in buying it, I would say you buy the annual or the paperback, just because the comics they have a lot of promotions. So like when you start reading, a lot of people might get confused because they're showing a lot of different things with different series and event, and I'll get to that in a moment. But like this comic right here, I got I got the first edition, so that's what I said. I love it. But then if I flip it, it opens up. And they'll show you like a whole poster of some of these new characters and then old characters of what's going on with the war. It's kind of give you a sneak peek. So,
oh snap! What issue is that?
That was Harley Quinn, but she was in the hand of Giganta.
No. What I mean is, what Damage issue is that in?
Oh, this is issue 1. This is the first one. That's why. So like a lot of people want me to sell comics. I will not sell you the Damage comics just because I got 3 of them. They're like really special editions. So
yeah.
This one was a poster. Oh man, this one that's what I said, it came into the poster. So it kind of it opens up. Oh, here we go. I can show you. Damage. He's kind of changed. This is Ethan in his human form. So in the red, you'll see Damage talking to him. He's like, "You can't escape, Ethan. You can't go." And then he's like, "Let me go." This is how they made you. They wanted Damage, and then he was like, "Give them Damage." He was like, "Give them what you want." And so his trigger doesn't always have to be anger. That's one thing I want to let you know. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, so it's like the Hulk." It's sort of, of course, it sort of is, but like I said, he got a bigger handicap. He only got 1 hour to let loose or be how he is. But that's his trigger isn't always gonna be anger or fear. It's all it just got to be just him talking. So straight up, there's another person inside of his head, and then Damage wants to take over. But yeah, like this is the first issue that I got. It's a special issue because it has that posters already built inside of it. And then when you look at the poster, like I said, it was showing some characters, and it cracked me up because some of these characters, they was kind of they gave you previews. Some of the characters of the next what's going to be happening in Damage's run. So like the Suicide Squad had to go after Damage, and then like I said, and it's not really it's a minor spoiler. Like I said, the poster, one of the pieces of the poster, it shows Harley Quinn, but she's in the hand of Giganta, and I was like, why's that in the first issue? I was like, what's going on? And then once you read the end of the first issue of what's going on, they were like, all right, Damage is loose, he's out, he's out. The people need to hunt him. And then, if you got something dangerous or stupid and you don't want to use soldiers, straight up, they had Amanda Waller, how they end the first issue. They were like, Amanda Waller, like, I'm gonna use the Suicide Squad. So, it kind of gave you a teaser like, okay, the Suicide Squad is gonna go after Damage. Damage is gonna win. And sure enough, he won. So him on a power scale, when they had wrote him, he was strong. He was the next big thing. And as I said, I'll show you another one that I love so much. People texting. It had him going through different events of what he had to escape and go to. So like this one, Danny, another issue. That's what I said. I cannot sell the Damage comic issues. This one is it's a holographic foil. It's a nice red, but it got a nice shine. So they had
yeah, I like that.
It's a holograph, so I feel it's rough and everything. So that's what issue 10. So like I said, it's a pretty straightforward. There's a plot of him just kind of running away a lot, but it kind of he wants to kind of figure how can he of course stay in control. How can he get rid of Damage? And then he's like, okay, who did this to me? Can I figure it out? And then straight up, I just want peace. I just want to be left alone. But he's such a monster, so it cracks me up. Like I said, it's the basic principles of the Hulk, but it's just the DC version. How do you do stuff? Because when you look at Marvel and the Hulk, depending on which Hulk series you're talking about, he's always going to be haunted. He's always going to be on the run. He's going to stay to himself, or he got to be in different places. People want him to be in different places. They don't mess with him. You know what I'm saying? And they know the longer Hulk is angry, the more stronger he gets. But what Damage, he just straight up like a warpath. He keeps going and going and going. But that's what I said. The big handicap is 1 hour. 1 hour, and after that 1 hour, he goes back to Ethan. And then Ethan can't turn to Damage until another 12 hours. So it kind of puts in that that strategic. Okay, I can't do it. Yeah, I can't figure it out. This is issues 10. I like that widespread of how they had him. He's in a military base. He's thrashing. Straight up. I highly recommend for everybody to get the issues. Like I said, it's 16 by itself, or you can get the annual or have them all together. And he was one of DC's new top running hero, straight up. So another cover that I love, they had the Justice League. So you got to face the Justice League. They had him facing Superman. They were like, oh shoot, Damage is going to kill Superman. But I won't tell you how the fight ends. But straight up, they a lot of the Justice League members, they was like, he's stronger than Doomsday. And I was like, whoa, hold up. I was like, Doomsday, is the dude that killed Superman. He's one of the, notorious villain. They were like, all right, they kind of setting that power level higher and higher and higher. They were like, cool, that's what I like. Another widespread, it's him versus the Green Lantern and Dixon. So they kind of trap and subdue them, just to make sure, keep them on control, keep stuff going on, protect the city. Let me get you another spread, just because I love the art. Every day, I always got each issue has a widespread page just of him or a single panel, and I just love it because he look, like I said, yeah, you got the Hulk look, the big muscular, but it's like, I don't know, like his arms is all black, it looks metallic. I like the buzz cut. Because he's a regular American soldier, and then he's a super soldier. But he just look like a mad gray gorilla. That's just straight up. That's how he do it. So, like, I like this spread. This is issue 13. He's still with the facing off against the Justice League, trying to figure stuff out. He going crazy. Batman's trying to figure it out how to calm him. But then towards the last of the issues. I want to say issues 13 through 16, because 16 was the last one. They had him going to on a it's kind of like a monster island. So I won't tell you the whole story how he gets through there, but he faces off the Suicide Squad, the Justice League members, and then he'll face off famous monsters, and they'll tell you where they came from in each issues and series to kind of keep you going. But like I said, I love the spread. Him just kind of facing this dragon monster, and it just kept going good. So one, like I said, you heard us, they only had 16 issues, and I keep praising it, but I always said I had I just had my 2 cents. I always have my 2 cents with it. The reason why I have my 2 cents is because during this whole series, the New Age of Heroes, they were releasing, like I said, a lot of heroes, a lot of people they wanted to get out, a lot of events. And then as you are reading the comic books, you buying the series, they're trying to promote other stuff like the Terrifics and then other stuff like with the Teen Titans and other events. So DC at that time, they wanted to push, these new heroes as the eye candy. And then they wanted really people to read their main and new, the main stuff. They didn't want to keep reading all these new heroes. So it kind of backfired because people were just loving these the New Age of Heroes. And what was funny is, all these new heroes, you could straight up see the source material. These 6 new heroes, they were ripoffs, or they had inspiration of Marvel characters. That's no problem. I didn't mind. Like I said, Danny's favorite, one of the new heroes they had was Sideways. Straight up looks like a Spider-Man. He looked like Spider-Man, but his powers were, he can travel through dimensions. You know, he can teleport to different places. So we like, oh, cool. And then you'll figure out he has a setback with that power. Okay, we'll figure it out. You know, just like they had another comic character I like. His name was Brimstone. You know, he looked like, you know, like the Flash, but like something mixed with the Ghost Riders and Hellboy, something crazy. You can see if you can zoom in, because like I said, at the end of the the end of the comic book series, they showed you these lineups. So like another lady was Silencer, Sideways right there. Those are the new challengers, and then Brimstone. So they had these and then here you got the Damage, and then the Mortal Man. So they had these new lineups of characters that were really, just were doing amazing. But that's what I said with my 2 cents with DC Comics. They don't have faith in their writers. They don't have faith in some of their new stuff and products. And if they feel like it's not going to work, they'll cut it off, or they'll get rid of the next people that's trying to be in charge of it. So that's why, when people are in DC, especially when it comes with projects and movies, Marvel goes crazy. They'll let people be creative and do what they want to do. But like I said with with DC, it sucks. It really do. It sucks how you want to do stuff new. But of course, everybody likes the basics: the Justice League, Teen Titans, even the Terrifics were common superhero groups. But it was like when they started doing stuff on their own, or their solo adventures, it's like, man. So, like I said, with the Damage series, they got 16 issues, but as of it started off in 2017, and then the series kept going until 2019. This all 16 issues, and then they had a one annual, which was was all compressed, and then they had like another ending for it. But in 2019 they canceled the series. They like, we won't do another volume. They won't do another paperbacks. They was like, Damage is done. And I was like, wow. But it really hurts.
Yeah, the three of them that got trade, only 3 of them got 3 trade paperbacks. Silencer got 3, Sideways got 3, and 2, because Damage only got 2. But Damage was the only one that they were collecting.
Yep.
So Damage would have had 3 trade paperbacks, but because they canceled after the second one, they never made the third one. So that kind of sucked. But I have the single issue, so I'm good.
So, and that's what I said. It was heartfelt, because I was like, man, because as I said, these new characters that I kind of showed y'all towards the end, some of them didn't even get the full endings. Like I said, the Sideways, he was like the DC version of Spider-Man. He didn't get his full ending. Like, they didn't really, his little solo series, that's it. They was like, that was it. They didn't finish it off. And then that's what I said, DC, they was really pushing, all of these new, the new age of heroes. They was pushing it every time. Like if you buy the single issues, you'll start to see like every couple pages, they were like, hey, here's the preview of the next event. But it's like the Terrifics, the Justice League, the Teen Titans. Stay tuned for your next event. Which in comics, when you buy single issues, you'll get promotions. That's true. You will always get like a promotion, an ad. Like they got stuff right here that ain't got nothing to do with the comics, but DC was really pushing it to the extreme, because it was like every other page is like, okay, here's a new story. It ain't got nothing to do with Damage, ain't got nothing to do with the event. It's for the new stuff that they was having, and then they'll give you previews. Comics will always do that. They have previews towards the end. But it's starting to get to the point where it was like they just stopped caring. They just stopped caring, and they wanted their market to go to a different source and subject. And like Danny just said, he had 2 volumes, compressed books, but they was like, all right, we're done. We're not even gonna do the third one to finish it up. They had like the ending, they had his annuals, but they were like, all right, that's it. I was like, what? So. I'm happy I got the first 16 single issues. I will not sell you my first 16 single issues just because some of them are, like I said, they are rare. Like I said, the first one was a straight up poster, special poster, and a lot of them didn't have that. And then I like the one, I gotta organize them now. Have me everywhere with these. Like I said, the issue 10. It's a hollow foil. It really shines, and it's smooth and rough. I like that hollow foil. And then it's good. Each cover it always kind of caught my eye. Like I said, I love 10 just because the hollow foil. But like when you look at 11 straight up, it's like, all right, boom, damage. He's throwing down. He's trying to smack somebody. All right, 12. What's he trying to do? Boom, he's on the SmackDown. He's trying to fight the Justice League. Okay, we'll keep it going. He always fighting. Every cover art page that I got, depending on which variant you get, he always posing. He ready to smack down. He ready to fight somebody. He is ready. So that's what I said. That hyped me up. And, a lot of people, when you get these comics, they're like, man, there might not be a lot of action, or they be like, the cover will trick you. A lot of people like, the covers will just trick you, and then it's just a bland story. Nah, this cover, it did grab my attention, but it did not trick me because I loved every issues of what they had done. Oh shoot, I like this one, issue 6. They showed him with Swamp Thing. He kind of going crazy, and I like that. And that's what I said. The cover art, it really reminds me of 80s, about 80s, 90s era. How he's kind of, you got him and the monster or his next victim or his next fight. They're kind of posing. He's always fighting and he's a ready stance. This right here, especially how they had like the DC logos. They'll keep changing the colors. Each issue they'll change the colors of it. So I liked how they had that signed up. Like this was like a dark blue. The next one, issue 7, kind of like a red. Let me get 8, like a turquoise. On the top right, where the DC universe was. So that kind of caught me off guard and make it a little different. But like I said, each cover, besides the first one, besides the issue 1 and issue 10 for sure with the holograph foil, it doesn't look very 80s 90s era how they did the cover, but like everyone else, it was just good. It kept keeping going and going. So that's what I said. It's a basic story. He's trying to figure out who he is, what happened, how can he control it. He wants to escape, your basic plot. But, I loved how they had, they was trying to show, different villain groups, different hero groups, different stuff. And he always traveling. I like a story that changed places. It got to change its pace and then it changes places. You got to keep it going and going. Because, a lot of people, they want to read a comic. Some people don't want to read a comic of somebody just fighting, for a couple pages and they're in one spot. I can understand because you lose focus, you start getting drained, and then they'll take the story somewhere else. And that's what I said, what kind of gives it that edge for damage. That's what I said, he can only be damaged for 1 hour. So I was like, man, that's a big handicap, dude. Like, how they going to do it? So they'll really pick up the pace when you see some of these his fight scenes. They'll show the timer, how many time has been left, how long he's been going, how long he's been fighting, just to keep it to keep that pace moving and grooving. So I was like, okay, I like that. That's how you're gonna keep stuff interesting. But I love that series. That's what I said, the thing I really disliked and really made me salty is how DC put their actions and their sources. They just didn't have faith in it. They didn't have faith in a lot of these new age of heroes, and they just felt like they had something new. They had something coming out of a new event, and then they figured that the fans wanted to get back to the main story or get back to the main, hero groups, which, some people would. But, as I said, when it was a new age of heroes, straight up, that's the title, the new age of heroes, these new characters, something that's, it is similar to the Marvel counterparts, but then they added a twist to it. I was like, okay, this is something I can read. And they had, these artwork, these artists, the artworks, and even the publishers, they was putting out the, special stuff. That's what I said. I got a couple of issues, that's in, they got special cases, or like I said, they got different covers and different designs, and some of them have like Easter eggs and posters that like I said, you could put up. So they had a lot of time in it. But like I said, in late 2019, DC, they cut it off. They was like, nah, we're done with Damage. We're done with the series. He didn't even get his 3rd volume, which was gonna be like a little, a paperback for him. So that was salt. But I got the full 16. I got the full 16 issues. So. A lot of people, if you want to look into Damage, you can definitely get their single issues. They're probably gonna run you about $3 a piece. Ain't that's not no, that's pretty okay. Which 16 You know, you got 16 of them, so that's pretty all right. You're not gonna really break any much money. You know, it's probably spend about 60, yeah, well, yeah, about 50 bucks, about 16 issues. That's good. Or you can get the volumes, which I believe the volumes are probably maybe about 12. Well, there's two of them. So yeah, you probably spend about 30 bucks, but you won't get your ending. So that's a little thing. So people, you know, I'll spend 20 bucks on, you know, the two volumes, but then they're like, okay, what's going on? It says to be continued, but it's not continued because you gotta get the single issues. So you can choose the specific way how you want to do it. You know, some people they'll probably just get the two volumes and then the last, you know, 4 5 issues, and then that's it. I mean, if y'all want to do your money like that, that's cool. But some that really keep people busy. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, first 16 issues. This isn't a 30-minute read. I would probably say it would probably take 45, if not an hour. So that's a really good read for a lot of people. You know, I wouldn't say it's nothing too quick or too easy. And that's what I say. If you do get the single issue, just be careful how you read them or how they have it printed, because you know they're going to throw a lot of promotions in some of these issues, and they'll kind of throw you off guard. Like, oh, straight up, you know, I had I think it was issue 4 or 5. You know, they had like 8 pages of stuff like that was going on with like the Justice League, or you know, there's another group of heroes, and I was like, is this going? You know, is this something to do with the damage? And they were like, nah, here's the preview of the next event. So I was like, all right, you know, so you know, you just gotta be careful how you read the comics or how to get them out or how they're trying to do it. But you know, no, you know, the writers and the authors, you know, all the publishers, they really wanted to do good with this the new Age of Heroes and Damage for sure. But like I said, DC kind of put their marketing for different stuff. You know, they wanted to do for different titles, different stuff that was going on with like the Teen Titans, Justice League Dark, the Terrifics. You know, of course, the DC Dark Knight Metal, which you know that's where he came from. He came off from during that event, and then you know they even had the Deceased was it was like a zombie event. DC Comics Deceased. So they had a lot of push for that, and then you know the DC Comic Deceased that didn't even it did pretty hard, but it didn't do so well. A lot of people reviewed it, especially towards the ending, because I read that and I didn't care for it. You know, it's a DC version of the zombie apocalypse, but yeah, I might talk about that one later. I don't know, just because how I might feel on it, but Damage. If he was still continuing and running, and he was still in the DC universe, oh, for sure, he would be my number one hero. He would be my number one just because of how they kind of did him good, especially the character development, how he wanted to do stuff. Because you know, like I said, with DC, I love him, but I hate him. You know, you got the love hate event when it comes with publishers or you know with companies with your comics. And that's why a lot of people, you know, they might blame the writer or the artists, you know, for why the comics ain't selling so good or it's not getting good. But you know, this was the company. DC was like, nah, we're gonna discontinue because it's not really gonna bring in more market for the other events or the other stuff, and he wasn't even worried about it. So that you know that kind of really showed me like, wow, y'all don't got your faith in your your other teams and other people. And then you know if y'all read stuff that was been going on early 2020. DC been firing a lot of heads ups and directors and this craziness. So I was hurt. I was hurt how the DC Comics was going because they're not selling the comics as good, and you know they're trying to figure out okay what's the problem. But you know we'll make a video of a DC rant. How did that sound, Dan? You want to do something like that?
That sounds amazing.
But
look. On the high note, though, Michael, DC has already announced that they're going to start releasing comics. I think April 28th. They're going to go ahead and start releasing slowly. You know, some new issues. Unlike Marvel hasn't announced anything just yet, but Marvel did say that they'll if you buy your comics from your local store,
yep,
they'll let you read it for free or something like that. I'm not sure how it works. That was pretty dope, but I mean, I'm not interested. I'm good on that.
But yeah, so all in all, for a lot of people, that's been you know, a lot of people that's on here on that watch these videos, you know, a couple people, especially on the live stream, they be buying comics online. comics and books that we recommend. This one for sure. People, oh my bad for the age. Um, Really, this can be for any age group. Um, yeah, if you got little kids, they could read it, but there are, colors, a couple words. There is a little cursing here and yeah, so yeah, never mind. Don't even do for little kids. But if it's like regular teens, tweens, younger, and that's what I say, young adults, yeah, for sure. Just because the violence, yeah, for the violence, but it's not too crazy. There ain't no nudity. Yeah, there's the blood, gore, no. Just straight up, just straight up violence. That's just all it is. There's straight up violence. I actually lied. There is some suggested themes in here, so probably for teens. Just because they got Poison Ivy up in here, so I'm not even going to show you some of the stuff. It ain't too bad, but a lot of people, if you know Poison Ivy, you know who she is. So yeah, probably for teens for sure, young adults, heck yeah. And that's what I said. This was my favorite DC hero, and especially when it came out during that event. Heck yeah. I would recommend for anybody that's kind of interested in DC or they love DC comics and they're like, well, what can I quick read? A quick 45-minute read. The damage comics. And he come from the new age of heroes. Put that in as well, or it'll tell you, the DC Universe Damage, because there's a couple of comics that talks about Damage, but those are going to be those old comics from the 70s or 90s. But just like I said, once you see that cover art, if you see a cover art, just that man flexing and posing, he's battle ready, he's the Patriot soldier, he got all that stuff, he looking ready, he looking mad, he looking mean. They did it justice with the art. I kid you not. Some of these, like I said, I got them covered up because they're special issues, so I'm not trying to get these damaged. Pun intended. I don't want to get these comics damaged, but yeah. So what's up?
I said you're silly.
I know, because I didn't even try to make that fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. The damage. And that's what I said. They had a lightning in the bottle, but they threw that bottle in the trash can. So that really hurt me. And that's what I said. There was more characters that they were going to release, but some, like I said, Damage has an ending. The 16 issues, it has an ending. Kind of where what's going to happen, what's he going to do. The ending, I would tell you, I didn't really care for, but it was hinting for something new, something different. That's what I said. We don't want to do spoilers. If y'all get a series issue, if we spoil it, it's not good, or we're just like, y'all don't need to buy it. But something like this, it was hinting towards something kind of crazy, or like another big adventures. But like I said, he got canceled and discontinued in 2019. They were like, hey, who knows? And that's what I said. If y'all get the volumes, or like the little paperbacks of him, there's supposed to be 3 volumes, but they only gave him 2. So if y'all want them endings, I would suggest get the single issues. Like I said, there's 16 of them. They won't hurt you in the wallet, in your pockets, but it's real good, real good. That's what I said. Story, action, characters. It's really fast paced, kind of get you going, and that's what I said. It was my straight up a definition of an action comic. Straight up, like, okay, this is going on. This is what he got to do. This is who he's facing. This is after him, and just go. So, for sure, if y'all want a recommendation from my list, y'all want to buy comics, I won't sell them, but comics that you need to buy, Damage from the New Age of Heroes, for sure. So, I had to bring them out for this 10th episode. You can zoom me out, Danny, unless you're busy. You busy?
No.
Okay. But I just want to give a huge shout out for all the followers and listeners. People from Instagram, Twitter, and especially on the YouTube page, because obviously y'all see it. Y'all talk, especially people that try to do the live. To get on here. I know I got people that's always trying to hit me up on the phone to give me suggestions. Just hope everybody's being safe. Hope everybody's doing well. I know it's gonna be some crazy times. I just want to say thank you because like I said, we just do this, just to talk. Mostly it's just me and him just talking back to back. If y'all, chime in, go ahead, chime in. We want to help because I know we had a couple people these past, weeks in these episodes. They follow us loyally, and they like we bought some comments from you. We like this and that. They were like, well, talk about this character on the mission. You should talk about this. They got questions. What's up with the editor? They just really help and support it. We just want to thank all of y'all. Big Dell, we can't answer that one. You on the this live we talk about the comic books. You gonna have to talk to the boss man on another video, but he'll probably get you an update soon. What's up with that? Yeah, so that's something I don't know. But again, a big shout out, a big thank you from all the people. There's much love and respect. Hope everybody's being safe and sound. That's to say, if y'all want to follow me or have any more suggestions or join some groups, like I said, you can follow me Instagram and Twitter, Big Book Bros. You'll see an icon that has like a little anime character, but once you click on the profile, you'll know it'll be me. We'll tell you all the stuff that's going on. I'll usually give previews of our episodes on Fridays and especially Saturday mornings. You're on this YouTube page, you already know. Boss Man, we talk about stuff on the American Bullies, all the dog stuff here. But like I said, with the Big Book Bros, we just did it for just nerd stuff, straight up nerd stuff. So it's not always gonna be comics. You'll see a couple of our episodes with animes and mangas, and even movies, because we had the whole hour and a half discussion. We just straight up just talking. We doing some Q&As, and then we just went everywhere. Yeah, I know. I was waiting. You ready? So really much love and much respect for all y'all. So like I said, we made it to 10 episodes. We racking them up in the views. I love it. I just love talking to y'all. Just love, I love talking straight up. So, a lot of people they don't like it. Y'all know what to do. Y'all can unsubscribe. Y'all can not listen, but I love just getting people out here. We don't do scripts straight up. We'll just keep talking and talking. If we mess up, we mess up. That's what I said when we live, we love to hear your opinions and try to help, just help us out. And we like to help you out too. Like I said, from this episode, the 10th episode, I had to bring in one of my favorite DC characters. Again, it was Damage. Daniel had brought up the Northlander. He did not recommend it for a lot of people.
Yeah, no. Unless you like Vikings. If you really like Vikings, you'll love it. But I'd rather watch the show Vikings, and I'm not interested in ever reading it again. So I'm selling it off.
So, as you just heard from the boss man, the Northlanders. So yeah, if you like Vikings, you can get it. But from his taste, he already said there's only one section of that those stories that was good, and he was like, that's it. He straight up say he'll just watch a TV show about Vikings instead of reading a book. So you can take that with a grain of salt how you feel. I'm trying to promote the Damage comics, but like I said, there's only 16 of them, so they really could have did more with the event and him. And that's what I said. I thought he was gonna be something really new and popular. How he got stuff going on, but that's what I said. It happens, and that's what I said. I really I do love DC. A lot of people's like, man, you just do nothing but anime and Marvel. I was like, I know, I'm trying to switch it up. But actually, I did Image Comics too. So a couple of these people that's trying to get on me, y'all gotta watch my other episodes. I talk about Image Comics, but yeah. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this episode. Like I said, I just want to thank all the people that's been watching. Just how they be. Of course, I want to start giving out more shout outs. So probably, let's let us know. And especially, if you got suggestions, y'all trying to chime in, or even y'all want to be like in the backstage, we'll do another stream where you can kind of join in, chime in on us, or even when we go online, we be on PlayStation, so you can follow us a little bit on the PlayStation whenever we try to start gaming. Just hop on, we'll just discuss and just talk and chill. But pretty much it. This is gonna be it for this episode. Not too bad. I didn't hit that hour marker, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty good. I got more stuff to do and read. I know a couple of people they was messaging me about my hair. I did something different, so yeah, y'all can see it. So you'll see a little time lapse of how stuff, how I did stuff going. Other than that, I hope everybody's safe, sound. I hope everybody's gonna be doing good. Keep reading, keep having fun. That everybody be safe. But that's gonna be it for the 10th episode of Big Book Bros. And shoot, we'll catch you when we catch you. And like I said, just follow us. You know, I'll be on Twitter and Instagram, Big Book Bros, and then we'll just keep it going. Just keep up on this YouTube channel too. You got anything else to say, boss man?
Nope, that's pretty much it, man. I'm excited to go downstairs and see what I'm about to read for next episode.
There you go. So that's what I said. We keep it up and going every week. You know, we'll try to keep it going. And then like I said, we was gonna try to do some on a midweek too. We'll try to do some Q&As again. So I know a couple people was messaging. They were laughing how I kind of went off script. So you'll see it in there's also go on YouTube on the playlist. So if you want to see all of our episodes, you can look up Big Book Bros. There's going to be a playlist. It'll show all of them. There's going to be one that's just titled Big Book Bros, and it's nothing to do with the episodes. Just because it was going to be a quick Q&A, but you know we go off the rails. That's what I said. I don't really do much scripts. I might have a couple of notes here and there, or I'll be trying to type and messaging other people that hits me on social media. But I just went everywhere. And I just started answering, started having conversations with other people on the live comments, and then I got lost. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know what happened. You know, that's it, man. But I hope everybody's safe and sound, and that's it for this episode. All right. Peace.